and likes to dance. The woman I found pees a lot, has mood swing problems, and anger management issues. You know what? I'm in love. And we're going unsteady. Get it? Unsteady? Okay, that was a long time ago. But I did meet my fiancée, who's right there, on a dating site. That singles net that was bought by Match.com. Now, here's the story. Now we're going to get to some of the good stuff here. Okay? We want to get to some of the good stuff here. First of all, how many people in this audience wants to live a very happy, mentally healthy life for a very long time? I don't see your... You better put it up. I mean, that's why we're here. We want to live a long life. We want to have good mental health. We want to have good physical health. We want to be happy. That's what it's all about. But my goal in life now is not about that. Yes, I want all those things and have it right now. But what do I do to help others? What can I do through my suffering that I can help a student, or I can help someone that's suffering right now, or someone that's suffering in silence to get the recovery, do the things you need to do? And what are some of the things? There's resources out there, ladies and gentlemen. I work for St. Vincent's Hospital. I'm not plugging them, but you can go to MHA, you can go to NAMI, you can go to so many organizations to work on your recovery, to see a therapist, to take the medicine, to do the triangle. But, as I said to you before, I think you need more. And I have all the wellness tools right here, so at the end, I want you guys to take some. Now we're getting into the good part, okay? We're getting into the good part. The most important thing that I believe that you need, besides the medicine, the psychiatry, the social worker, and all these other wellness tools I'm going to talk about, I really do believe is a support staff. And I look at the people that are in the shelters that I deal with and stuff, they have no one. They have no parents, they have no friends, they have no one. And they're trying to get back in their street, get back into an apartment, and they're living on the streets. It's a shame. I see it. And I'm lucky. I had the most amazing parents. If I didn't have really loving, over-loving, neurotic Jewish parents, I wouldn't be here today. I really would not be today. My mom died 8 months ago. She had cancer. But the thing was, that killed her was the bed sore. It wasn't the cancer. The cancer, doing the chemo, ruined her life for 2 years that she suffered. But the point was, my mom would always say, you can do it. You can get better. And she said these words, and I was doing it to her when she was on the deathbed, and she was not, I would say the words that she said to me, I would say it back to her. Now, she's no longer here, but if I didn't have my mom, and I didn't have my dad, who's still alive, and he's doing great too, you need support staff. Even if it's a coworker, even if it's just a friend, even if it's a sister, brother, uncle, it doesn't matter. You need a support staff. I recommend that highly, and that's what I added to my triangle. I started to go to support groups. I started to go to DBSA, depression bipolar groups. I started to go to NAMI. I started to go to other places. This was building up also my mental health resume at the same time. So this is part of it. Now, I just want to let you know, it's very important that you see this. I mean, you might see a guy, with amazing, talks a lot because he has parrots on his shirt. But that's not why I wore it, okay? The point is that I suffer. And I want you to understand that you can get well, you can stay well, and you can use these other types of tools. I just talked about a few. We're going to get into a lot more in a second. It's very important. So support staff. Now, look at me right now. You can't tell. I have a disability. I'm wearing hearing aids. I got hearing aids 6 months ago. I needed hearing aids 5 years ago. I didn't get them. I'm like, oh my God, I got to put stuff in my ears. I got to change the battery. Oh my God, people are going to see. But again, stigma, discrimination regarding a disability. It's not just mental illness. You have disability stigmas. You have chronic illnesses stigmas. And you also have the elderly, which I'm working on that as well. But that's another issue in our society. I'm not liking how our elderly get treated like garbage. But that's a different issue for another day. But here's the thing I wanted to go over with you. So even with my disability, so what? So I wear hearing aids. Right now, I know what she's saying right now because I have great hearing aids. I know, I'm just kidding. The point is, I'm doing something to make myself feel better, so I can hear better. So I have hearing aids in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make me less of a person. I'm just as equal to you than you are to me. And that's what it's supposed to be in our society. And I don't like what's happening. And that's what I'm trying to change. Now, here's some myths. This is the myth out there. Here it is. I'm going to show you right now. Here's one of the myths. You got bipolar, lady. You can't get it from somebody. Touching, kissing, whatever you want to call it. It's not contagious, ladies and gentlemen. Mental illness or mental health challenges is not contagious. It's not about weakness. It's about strength. If you work on your recovery, if you work on getting help, that's strength. Getting out of the acceptance, opening up about yourself. The toughest ones we have are the young. Middle school, high school, college, they're not coming out. They're not, and I want to be there to help them come out. Make it like it's no big deal, so you have something going on with you. If you work on your recovery and all the resources that I was talking about before, support groups, as I told you, there's activities, there's meetups, there's things that deal with mental health. You can get the help with the triangle, med, psychiatry, social worker. I'm not here pushing all that, but it's a very good start to do that, and eventually you work with the other tools, which I'm going to go into in a second. What else is? They say, the media says, it leads to violence, right? Mm-hmm. Leads to violence. Oh, I see. Anyone that kills someone, it says it's always a mental illness, right? I don't believe that. You can never get better. I did. And there's other people who can too, and there's other people that have gotten well and have stayed well. Not getting better, and then all of a sudden the ticking time bomb goes off, or the neon sign, I wake up in the morning, I'm sick again with my depression, or I'm back in the cave of hell. I've gotten well, and I've stayed well for 3.5 years. And I'm showing you some of the things I did right now that got me better. I made this at a psychiatric hospital. Look how amazing this is. I'm just joking. I did make it in a psychiatric hospital, but that's not really, that's just stabilization. I believe psychiatric hospitals are really important for you, but you need to get hope while you're there and hope to come out in a plan of action. It's not just going to, you go into there for 2 weeks. They only keep you for 2 weeks at a psychiatric hospital, and then all of a sudden you come out like, okay, I'm better. Okay. No, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did. Maybe some it happens to, but many it does not. What else it says? You can't help someone that's suffering. BS, I'm doing it now. There might be people in suffering in silence in here that are not coming out. They don't want to talk about it. It's okay to talk about it. It's no right. It's no big deal. It's mental illness. It's nothing else. It's not a bad thing. It's uncommon. Well, why is it that 26% of the world has a mental health condition? It's very common. And what about the people that are suffering in silence? We don't even know about. How many are suffering in silence that we don't even know about? It's your fault. It's not your fault. It's not the genes. It's not your mother had it. We don't know what it is. It could be all of those above or none of them. We don't know. It's not your fault. And that's the problem. And the same thing with addiction. It's not your fault. I mean, they blame people that have addictions. I'm also working on that as well. And the same with mental illness. It's not your fault. And I love this one. It's my favorite one. It says, it's all in your head. Duh! Of course it's in your head, you idiot. It's a mental illness. Mental. Get it? I know. I got it. Mental in my head. And then the one I love from Moonstruck. What's the greatest line from Moonstruck? When Cher slaps, what's his name, in the head and said, she says what? Snap out of it. That's something you don't tell someone that has a mental illness, okay? They might get a little angry with that one. Because you don't. If I snap out of it, why would I suffer for 40 years, you idiot? I don't want to suffer with my mental illness for 40 years. And then when I'm 55, I want to get better. What, are you kidding me? No way, man. That's not what I wanted to do. But I had to use these tools first and then get into the other ones. What else? Bad childhood. No, it's not. Mental health disorders are just like anything else, like cancer, heart disease, MS, diabetes, broken foot. But we get treated differently because you say the word mental illness. And I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to get the resources that you can go to, that I have done, and you can get to help yourself as well. Now, we're going to get into the Wellness Toolbox. Now, this is one of the reasons why I'm here today. One of the biggest reasons. What was it that really got me to the promised land? Well, I was just doing this. Do you remember what this is? Sure. Psychiatry, meds, and a talker, right? Well, now, what was it that got me to be unbelievably well for 3.5 years? And doing these things with that, and at the same time, weaning off a little bit. Maybe I don't need a talker anymore. I'm not saying you should not see one. For me, I didn't need it. I didn't need as much medicine. I still take medicine, but I don't need as much. What was it that I did to replace it? How about like doing journaling? How about doing meditation? How about doing deep breathing exercises? How about doing affirmations? I do affirmations. Look inside yourself and find something that you want to stop. I used to worry all the time. Worry all the time. With my depression, even when I wasn't depressed, I would worry. Not because I'm Jewish, okay? Don't give me that stuff. But I had depression. I worry all the time. So I come up with an affirmation. Stop worrying as much as you can so you can become a much healthier man. Been saying that for 4 years in my shower. That's just for that one. I also have one for being patient, and another affirmation for overreacting. We seem to overreact a lot, especially when we have a mental illness. There are times that happens, and it happened to me. So I do my affirmations. I do a creed, prayer, God, Bible, Jesus, church, temple. You want it. Music, self-improvement tapes, as I said before. Pets, animals, walking, volunteering, dancing. I dance. That's my fiance right there. I told you before. And I'm a damn good dancer. What is it? A gratitude list. There's so many things on here, ladies and gentlemen, that you can do with your recovery. Even if you're not in recovery, these are all great things. Yoga, support groups, eating healthy. I can't tell you. There's so many here. I'm adding more every day. Inspirational movies. And I'm going to get into my favorite one. It is Patch Adams. If you haven't seen the movie, or if you've only seen it once, my assignment is get it and watch it again. Because that's one of the reasons why I'm here. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the things, I did so many of these wellness tools. DBT, you might have heard of dialectical behavioral therapy. There's so many things that you can do. What is it? I just said music, horseback riding. I mean, there's so many things you can do, even if you're taking medicine and seeing a psychiatrist and a talker. It works with it, and it goes even beyond, and that's what got me to the promised land. That's what got me well. And it's all about having fun with your mental health, not making fun. So, what was it? 3.5 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, 3.5 years ago, I had no job. I had no girlfriend. And I was unbelievably sick with my depression 3.5 years ago. So, I started using the wellness tools. I started to do the meditation, the deep breathing. I started doing yoga. I started reading Wayne Dyer. Another great book I recommend, you should write it down, called The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Two important agreements. Don't be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable means without sin. And the best one is don't take anything personally. We all take things personally, but we shouldn't. We shouldn't. There's no reason to take anything personally. So, these are just some of the things. I have more stuff here that you'll see that I want you to take for the wellness tools. But here, this is really the most important thing. Here. What is this from? Does anyone remember where this red nose comes from? What movie?
Patch Adams.
Patch Adams. Patch Adams is my favorite movie. I've met Patch Adams. He really is a real guy. He has a place called Gesundheit University. All the people work there. He doesn't charge a thing. The doctors go there and don't charge it. They don't charge very, very little. And they all help. He's a real man. And it's a real story. And it's true. That movie is my favorite movie. But about laughter and smiles, ladies and gentlemen. Laughter and smiles. Why is it important to have humor and laughter and smiles in your life? Here it is. One of the reasons is it boosts your immune system. It boosts it. So if you want to watch comedy, or you want to do stand-up, I do stand-up comedy, whatever. If you want to watch something, watch All in the Family, watch anything on there. It's funny. It will boost your immune system. Also, the endorphins, they lift your mood. They protect the sense of well-being. That's another thing it does. It reduces your blood pressure. It does. It dulls and kills the pain. So if you're suffering, there were times when I was really suffering with a mental illness. I'm not watching comedy. It's not working. I'm really, really bad. But occasionally when I worked my way up, I was able to get back to the interest that I like and watching comedy. It alleviates stress and anxiety. Relaxes the whole body. It's a natural beauty enhancer. Look. I'm just kidding. It produces empathy. It's contagious. When she starts to laugh, I'm going to start laughing. It happens all the time. Even with my fiance, we laugh like you not believe. All different stuff. Laughing, smiles, all that, humor. You got to do more of it. And here it is. It increases your attention. It's the way to success. To do a workshop. You want me to do a workshop here, do slides and tell you, oh, let me do this. I'm not going to do any humor. You'll be bored out of your mind. You'll be out of here in a minute. Increased productivity. Improves your feeling of well-being. Now here's a great thing. Listen, this is my favorite one. The major reason why you want laughter and smiles in your life and humor. Why? It will make you live a longer life. You know how I know that? I Googled it. Okay. But it's true. It will make you live a long life. Here, a child. Do you have any idea, a child that's 4 years old, how many times does he smile and laugh during the day? Anyone know? A child is 4 years old. 300 to 400 times. How many times does a 40-year-old laugh or smile during the day?
None.
4 to maybe 14 times if you're lucky. So I think the kids got it down signed with those. Why not? Bring humor, laughter, and smiles in there. This is what it's all about. I don't cover things up like a lot of comedians do. I uncover. That's what I do. These are things I talk about. You know, it's very important. Now, we're going to get to almost to the end, and I want to get to my other creation that I did, is that I also go into hospitals. I go into nursing homes. And I've created a character. I created a character that's basically Patch Adams meets Mrs. Doubtfire. And her name is called Mrs. Staying Alive. And what I do is I go into the nursing homes, I go into the assisted living, I go into hospitals, and I want to give them either the ones that have dementia, the ones, I want to get a smile out of them. So I dance, and I'll show you who this person is that's going to dance, and get them to have some type of improvement and give them a quality of life. What it is about equality, quantity, and improving someone's quality of life. That's what it's all about. Even if you're in a nursing home, they deserve to have a quality of life too. Why? Because they have dementia or they have cancer, they can't have fun anymore? That's bullshit. It's not right. They deserve to have a great life too. Even if they're old, even if they're disabled in a wheelchair. So I do this, and I go to hospitals, I do it for pro bono, and this is a little bit of what it is.
Oh, Lord. That's for you?
That's me. That's Mrs. Stay Alive. And I dance to this song because it's staying alive. It's exactly what I want everyone to be doing all the time. You need to be staying alive. And you need to improve your quality of life. That's what it's all about. So that's really what it is. That's what it's all about. I'm going to go into and do one last thing and see if you guys remember it. And then I have something I got to throw in the audience again. Remember what the 3 amigos of mental health was. What's the first amigo? Someone is what?
In it.
That's suffering. All right. And who's one that is, what's the next one?
In the closet.
Suffering in silence. And what's the third one?
The one that
Not suffering at all. So, I like choke myself. I got my hearing aid. I don't need them right now. But the thing I wanted to just let you know, so you know what the 3 amigos is, this is what I'm trying to do. You can help me. If you know anybody from middle school, high school, colleges, clinics, hospitals, I want to make a difference in their life. I want to show them that getting rid of the stigma, getting rid of this discrimination, acceptance, the opening up, the wellness tools, telling my story, being another type of solution. I would love to be someone saying, Michael, I did what you did and now I'm better. I would love that to be the case. But I want them to use another source. Let me be another source. Let me help them. Again, to me, the definition of success is doing everything in your power to help others. That's what it's about. It's not about the money I made in the mortgage industry and all the things I lost to my ex-wife. Who cares? It's just money. That's not about that. It's about what are you doing now to help others. So I want to help people with a mental illness that are suffering in silence, and help people that have disabilities, chronic illnesses, and of course the elderly as well, because I really believe we are all created equal, and we need to help and support one another. So if you can help me with my mission, my cause, I work for NAMI, I'm involved with MHA, I'm a peer support specialist, I work for St. Vincent's, and I have my own 3 Amigos of Mental Health workshop presentation that I'm hoping someday will go even further. I'm working on my book, the 3 Amigos of Mental Health book. I'm going to the 3 Amigos of Mental Health movie. I'm working on my screenplay. I want this to be the best, the movie that can really educate, inspire, and really entertain, use humor, and help everyone. The 3 Amigos. You know the 3 Amigos now. Suffering in silence, not suffering at all. And that's really what it comes down to. So, if you can help me with my mission, that is great. I have a lot of things that you can take before you go. You have my cards. You can give me your cards as well. And the last thing I would say, I do this all the time. Adios.
Amigos.
Wrong.
No.
Adios.
3 Amigos.
Mental health conditions. Thank you very much. It doesn't work that way. It's just this. It's just the brain. And the brain, it's okay. We can get better. And we can stay well. I'm living proof. 3.5 years, baby. 3.5 years of being well and staying well, engaged, getting married, and involved with my career in the mental health field now. This is what I do. And it's all about educating, inspiring, and helping others. So.
Thank you.